Welcome to the Molybdenum Software Show, where every day is a new experience. It's original, it's authentic. And
Some new experiences.
here's my screen. That issue that we reported, Nick's cargo integration, has been reportedly fixed.
Right.
This,
I don't think we filed an issue. I think you created a discussion.
right.
Oh, did it turn into an issue? Sweet. Awesome.
How is this text small?
Superscript? I have no idea. You don't have the power to edit it, do you?
Mm-hmm.
You could create a issue from a discussion in a repo you control and see what the markdown looks like.
Not that curious.
Or maybe the GitHub API, the CLI. You use that thing a lot. Does it make it easy to query for comments on an issue?
Also not that curious.
All right. I can't nerd snipe you. That's fine.
Nick's Flake, update, thanks, yeah.
Alrighty.
And then we should be able to see what. This was all about the program docs.
Yes, sir.
That seems right. Building.
Okay. Nice. Way to go. Maintainer, who's got a cool username that I don't remember.
What is it about use Dakra that you...
Oh, I just didn't remember the name. Use Dakra. I don't know. It sounds cool.
Okay.
I like how it looks and how it sounds. Probably reminds me of something, but I'm not realizing what it is.
I want one of those
One of what?
64 core AR64 machines. It's the only way. The only way forward.
You done with
These
x86 is too complicated?
it can't be cooled well enough. And those, imagine 128 cores, and all you need is a simple fan like 20 years ago.
Pretty impressive.
back to when cooling CPUs was not an issue.
Well, this looks promising. Can we look at our to-dos while we wait? Or any conflict markers?
I believe we checked the names, and also, yeah, we did that. We compared it with, oh, there was an error,
Unexpected character
unexpected.
apostrophe. Interesting. At, thanks for the line number. And ooh, that is one long line, and who knows what file. Darn. I know very little about our docs. Are we this cargo docs or Nix docs?
Cargo. This
Okay.
package builds
Can we build the docs just
cargo doc.
unnixified?
No, that's cargo doc with depths. No. It may be that tool that merges.
Oh, okay.
This succeeded.
Yeah. I like your theory.
Produces.
Can we see what command's being run? If we look at the full logs, maybe?
Yeah. That's a lot of lines. Why do we need so many lines in this log? What is it doing?
I don't know, copying a bunch of files or something?
Yes, it looks like it. It's called default -docs. Okay, well, copying files is not the thing that failed.
Right.
If I bring us back to present day, it will be here. Error unexpected, but this looks like the very till all.
Yeah. I mean, some command's getting run that prints its output in this form, but we aren't seeing the invocation of the command. Moderately annoying to figure out.
We don't. Is this our crate? Util?
I mean, you could look. We've got an absolute path to the store there.
I'll rotate.
Okay, mob starts 7. Oh, I didn't. Mob starts 7. We're on the NCI mob branch,
Yes.
is that right? Great. I am sharing my screen. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Well, there's a different error. Gonna get distracted with that one.
How come you get a different error? Oh,
I'm running a
check.
different command.
Okay, yeah. What is this?
This might be lower hanging fruit. I don't know.
Override atters missing.
I'm distracted by this warning. Is this an NCI quirk? It's not setting this meta attribute. Our packet
API
on our
default P8. What? Checking derivation. Is this some parallel? How come the text is garbled above the warning?
this warning.
Right above that warning. Checking derivation.
No.
Something. API.
Let me run it again. Okay. That's less mangled. Yeah, so some weird parallelism stuff. So, do we want to fix
Tracker
this?
API. But the API should not, wait, no, it does. It should have a main program.
Yeah, and it does not. This is what I'm doing here. Next rebel dot, and it just doesn't have a main program.
See whether NCI codebase has main program somewhere in it.
Good thought. Go. No. If I have NCI cloned yet, Nix cargo. Okay. And main program does not. But, I mean, does our main branch have it either? Like, wasn't Crane doing this for us?
It wouldn't come from NCI. It would come from Crane.
Yeah. And we were using Crane before.
Does.
Yeah. Now, I don't really understand conceptually, just as a human, if I were to write this all by hand, how would I pick the, like, I'm a human, I'm looking at this thing, I'm going to compile it by hand. What about this is telling me the entry point?
It can, but it doesn't because there's a default.
What's the default?
Source main. The existence of source main
Okay.
means that, well, there's a single binary target.
Got it.
And it's the name of, the executable ends up being the same as
I see.
the crate name.
Okay. So we expect Crane to have this main program deduced somehow from just the name of the crate, or no, it also doesn't mention main program. So maybe it's the underlying Nix packages tooling that maybe Crane uses.
Is it specific to PRTracker API, or does any other program that we have two programs? But
good question.
We have some utility programs as well. Fetcher also does not have.
Yep. Then the utility ones, I don't know, are those under apps? Yes, they are.
Nah, but they're in the shell. I think we cannot reach them through the external API.
Got it. Okay, well, let me confirm something. So if I do GitHub molybdenum software / PR tracker, which is main, packages.x86. Do these have a meta dot main? They almost certainly do, right?
Find out.
Oh, look at all this juicy meta data, including a main program. That's very different. Look, cargo derivation. That may be giving us a clue about where this is all coming from.
That makes sense.
Version
That's
equals.
that's Crane.
You can tell this is the Crane source code.
The name of the function, make cargo derivation, or it's public Crane API.
Got it. Okay. A line number doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Okay, so something about the way we use Crane versus the way that NCI uses Crane.
Yes, I suppose it's interesting because maybe
Oh, they don't invoke me. Cargo derivation, do they?
they use Crane through Dream2Nix.
Okay. We don't use make cargo derivation. Okay. We use something else.
Right, that's like a make derivation. There's I think it's a make cargo package that we may be using in main.
Got it. Okay. Well, this is a mystery. I'm gonna rotate.
I
I haven't
bet
done
it's a
anything.
Dream2Nix thing. I mean, it's Dream2Nix responsibility.
I've got some food in the oven. I'll be right back.
And
Hello.
I'm looking. I'm cloning cloned the Dream2Nix.
Okay.
We're in their shell. This won't work here. It would work here though. And there should be something like make caret comparison.
So I don't understand the relationship here. Dream to Nix. What's the relationship between Dream to Nix and Crane?
See this?
Okay. Got it. Okay. So this is a modularized version of Crane.
I suppose.
Got it.
And we can, I mean, one thing we can do is look at it here, but, oh, and look, here, look, there's license.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we landed right on where meta is.
Uh-huh.
Because we remember seeing meta, and we remember seeing license, and this is a merge between license and this meta, dream lock interface. Subsystem address
Mm-hmm.
meta p name version. Wow. Lock coded read dream lock.
Where does pname come from? Are we like in the context of a specific crate right here, or a whole cargo workspace?
No. Here's pname, config pname, config. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Hard to.
it's
Do you
default.
think we're dealing with a whole workspace or an individual crate?
Depends on what ends up happening here. Depths, public. I don't. Dream to Nix might not even have the concept of a workspace.
Okay.
I wonder who's been writing this. Do I have some kind of a git gutter blame here? No.
Are you happen to see use Docker's name all over this file?
Possibly. But I can still do I can still do git blame. It would be modules in the next Rust in Yusuf might be Ustakra.
Okay.
You. I remember he's Turkish. Why Bera? What was it here? Bera. That's enough for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So this, I think we should report this downstream because that's what we're actually using.
Yeah.
Let's perhaps first search for this here. Like, issue. لفولي النيوز. Config make derivation meta is not propagated to the derivation. From the example, understood that attributes in make derivation would be included in the derivation pretty much verbatim. However, only the license attribute is present. This is not about it not figuring out meta main program automatically. This is about explicitly passed meta is not being passed.
I see.
Is Nix eval meta main program error flag but does not provide attribute. The meta attributes is defined in crates Nix, is it? Well, it was in that commit, but oh no, that's their
This is a demo.
repro. Whether it's an NCI project or NCI crates, this should be fixed after Dream2 Nix is merged and NCI updates to include the latest Dream2 Nix commit. That was a year ago. Blocked by upstream. This was merged. Since then, obviously, we are using something newer than this.
Yep. And like you said, this is about stuff being passed explicitly. We could pass it explicitly to probably work around the issue.
Right, this is config make derivation method. This looks like so different issue. Not this issue. Okay, I'll rotate.
Do you mind going for a little longer while I eat?
Sure.
Thank you.
So we can use our own repo at this commit, right? It would be something like Nix eval. Let's look at the log. 80, all that. Nix eval GitHub. The software or tracker. Add that hash packages some architecture.
Sorry, what's special about this hash?
It's not special. It happens to demonstrate.
Oh, are we trying to file an issue? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
Okay, got it.
Packages, meta. Let's see the meta. Genetic. Underscore.
You need the name
I
PR
think
or .api.
right. We need to pick a package.
I think it's just API
Right.
because we're already in the context of a flake.
That's only license.
Okay, yeah, there's a repro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. I don't think we did anything wrong, but I'm going to just ask a question. I like this. I like the author. I'm going to ask a question. The author can file an issue if they want. It's kind of a political decision.
Yep.
Reduce resistance. Avoid resistance. AI expected. Um, is do binaries to executable packages are packages expected to end up with meta main program or with like anything other than license
Meta.license.
under meta.
Mhm.
Here's a reproduction from our work in progress conversion migration project from grain
Yeah.
to and in this case I'm going to delete the main program and demonstrate that there's you know what
I think we should include the output, yeah.
provide that. We have it over here.
Cool. Only we had a cute one-liner to prettify that. Oh well.
Meta has only should meta have more than just more than only and provide be providing more what I want to say. Cool.
Looks good. And I can take over. I am done with my food.
Choir. Don't you want to brush your teeth?
I brush my teeth twice in a day. Not after every meal. I like the taste of pizza, so I don't want to get rid of it.
Brilliant.
Mob start 7. Okie dokie. Well, I guess we'll just... Should we implement a workaround? It would be easy to do. Should we just ignore the warning?
At the rate at which Yusuf is fixing what we report,
Yeah.
we should probably leave it at that.
All right. Override adders. This is interesting. This is... do you remember
Oh,
what
that's
this is
ours.
about?
We did that.
I don't know
We
what
did
don't
that.
strip means. Is this about debug info?
Like, why only now? Was there some change recently? Because we never saw this before, or we never got this far. I don't know.
I have no idea.
So override atters is a Nix packages
Yep.
utility. It ends up on a package when that package is evaluated via the call package function provided by Nix packages. And if it's missing, then it probably means that call package is not used.
Yeah. And that makes sense because, like you've told me, this is a Dream to Nix thing, so it's not using call package, it's using, the module system.
The module system, yeah. I like that. I'm not sure how well it scales, but what do I know about scale and Nix evaluation?
So I don't remember what this is for. Is this to get line numbers in our crashes? What is this all about?
Something, yeah. So to get more information, more useful stack traces.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a tangent, but it seems weird to me that the packages we're providing from our flake are not, like if our users are running this and get some useless backtrace, that seems unfortunate. Like, and this is just like a Rust question, I guess, is like, do people normally run Rust projects in production in a state where if they crash, they're not going to get very useful information?
Oh, that varies greatly. If
So
it's an open source project,
yeah,
because if it's proprietary, there's no point discussing this question. But if it's an open source project and the authors are aware of this and they care, then they probably do what we do, which is to maximize debuggability.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for proprietary software, like for instance, I've, my last 6.5 years of programming was, at a web applicant, a web shop that did Python backend, and spent a lot of time looking at, Python backtraces that were hard to reproduce, right? And so it was like nice to actually have line numbers. So I guess my question also applies to proprietary software. It's like people running their Rust web apps in a state where their backtraces are not, they just don't have line numbers. That seems hard to me to believe.
Well, I can't tell you what people do, but I can tell you that the default for the release profile is to strip, if
Got
I'm
it.
not mistaken.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess the idea is
It's
things are
considered.
fast by default rather than debuggable by default, and that's an opinion, I guess.
Yeah. How about we comment out that make a to do, comment out that line, and just avoid overriding atters so that we could
keep moving on.
Yeah.
All right.
But you can't just. I mean, sorry. What is commenting out that line? I think it's not quite feasible.
Really? Why wouldn't it be? We must have a default value for these things, right?
Hold on. Services PR fetcher package. Okay. No, I see what it is
And that's
now.
a pretty common pattern with package, right? It's just the default build of the package, and it's there to override compile time flags or whatever. Okay, we're getting more warnings. I mean, so that's good.
Another thing to consider now is that we are providing a package that doesn't have override and override atters. But
so
it
that is
should have.
Arguably a change in.
Yes, it's a breaking change.
Well,
but in our flake, not in our program.
I
right?
mean, breaking change is a matter of perspective. It's like we didn't document this. So, did we consider this part of our public API? I don't know.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
But for one, it's like, there's like two kinds of breaking changes, or there's a property of a breaking change, or of a change, or of a breaking change, that like this one, for example, that if it was used, the user cannot, and the user bumps the version to the new version, which there is no override adders anymore, and they were using this, it would simply not work anymore. It would break their build,
Yeah.
and breaking the build is far less undesirable
Yeah. I agree.
than some behavior change that is undocumented.
Yeah. Something they don't run into until runtime. Like, maybe the service crashes on start, which is pretty good, or maybe it just behaves differently at runtime, and that's the worst, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't feel bad about this, and I'm happy to call it a breaking change or not. Like, I think one could make the argument either way.
Well, I think it should be a major bump, breaking change.
Okay, fine by me.
I don't like this. I mean, if we sign up for Semver, then we should be strict about Semver. That's what I think. So if there's,
I mean, I don't care about Simfer, right? Like,
that's
I'm not
why
opposed to it. I just don't care.
that's why I qualified. But we did sign up for Semver. I mean, that's what currently set up. So
Have we? Have we said anywhere that we're following Semver? I mean, our versions just are three
the
numbers, right?
release, the release mechanism is all.
Oh, all right. No, yeah, we said that our versions have some meaning. All right, I take it back. If that line wasn't there in the README, I'd say that our version numbers just are numbers. We haven't told anyone what they mean.
We have semantic. We have semantic release. Our commits are
Mm-hmm.
conventional commits. It's it's radiating Semver,
Sure,
whether
that's
it's
fair.
explicit or not.
All right. Well, this is chugging along. Is this going to cause an annoying error later on? Or are we not actually enforcing this sort of stuff in CI?
We're not enforcing, but is it?
Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter what we do with it for now because it's not. Yeah, but just delete it just for so that we know. You noticed it.
Yeah, I
You
mean, it's
noticed
in
it.
a few files, and I mean,
It is.
I think I probably touched more than one file with this. Yeah, it's in.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I'll get the ones that I have open in my buffer. We're good. Okay, maybe it was only one. Sorry. Here's the way to find out. Get status. TCP/DB. Yep, we're good. Create locally. Also good. And there's two TCP/DBs. Whoops. Fetcher TCP/DB. There's another one. Okay, great. Got them all. So,
Does everything build now?
well, I don't know. It's chugging along. I mean, we're going to eventually get back to that apostrophe thingy in the program docs, right?
Yes.
But maybe that'll be the only thing. That would be a nice feeling. Okay, so I just commented out those 4 things. Then git grep to do.
I just want to add that those 4 things are also the only tests that we have for that option, for those options.
For the dot package option.
Yes.
That's fair. I mean, I guess a less, I could have left self here, and I could have added a new line of code that didn't actually override anything. And then we still would be arguably testing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, either way, I don't think we're going to merge this up without fixing this, but do you want me to leave it in that state?
It's not really testing it, I think. Even the with don't strip with the override, it's not really testing it, because if it was, there's nothing confirming that we get
Right.
the non-strip
It's
binary.
a smoke test. It's like if you use this option, things don't immediately catch on fire. So I don't know. Just tell me what state you want me to leave this file in.
It doesn't matter as long as we get back to it.
Okay. Well,
Not this state. This state breaks. Yeah.
yes, this state. Okay. That's how I'm going to leave it. To do. Here we go. Can I delete this? Do I need to actually confirm this? Next like show. We're looking at the packages.
Yes, that's the only thing that is public. Well, that's we could also take a look at the checks, but the checks don't have to be the same.
Yeah. Okay, check names. Packages. Fetcher. API. Yeah, this looks good.
And what do the
Deleting that to
checks
do.
look like?
Checks. That looks reasonable. I don't know if filter options is.
It's a utility.
Yeah.
It's a Nix utility. It filters the
Feels...
options for the building of the NixOS module manual.
Oh, okay.
But
Cool.
where are the packages? Where are the checks for the packages?
I see. Okay. Yeah, it does seem like we dropped them.
I thought NCI adds such checks.
I don't know. So the place where we'd put it if we wanted to put it by hand would be in like modules API.
Before we do that, can we take a look at NCI docs?
Yep.
Search for like the word check.
Here we go.
That's not where the docs are.
Did it here flaked up parts?
Yes.
Profile to use for tests only package. Okay. test only package for this. Great. Check profile.
By default, it's release.
Okay. That's it for the word check in this file.
So we have access to the Okay, so NCI doesn't do this. We just need to take the package and put it in the check.
Sounds reasonable. So we probably had that code before and we deleted it as part of this.
Mhm.
Checks
But
dot.
it won't be
It's literally
very
this is the
similar.
magic line of code, right? It'll be exactly this, won't it?
Oh. It could be.
That feels
It,
nice. It's exactly
it,
what we had before.
yeah.
You sound uncertain.
Because, there's more than one package.
Mm-hmm.
There are only two public crate packages, but I guess the rest are dependencies.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we don't have these, everything that we have integration tests that also
Right.
cause these to build. So it's not like
This.
it's absolutely necessary.
Yep. It's kind of nice to have a more targeted test that like tells you if the damn thing doesn't compile, rather than as part of an integration test where a lot more could be happening. So I'm not opposed to putting these here, but you are right. It's not actually increasing our coverage in any way.
Okay, just reverse the order. Check under the package so it maintains its order.
Okay, because we had packages.api followed by checks before. Sounds reasonable. Boom. Then mod fetcher default API fetcher, and we'll give ourselves a self prime. Hey, that's that. Okay, here's our last to do. So I think we found that if we entered the dev shell and ran cargo test, things failed. And I don't remember how they were failing. Cargo test. This might be too much for my poor computer.
Isn't that a cargo? Oh, cargo test.
Well, I think we had an issue where it was like in the dev shell, things were failing in a way that they weren't failing in the Nix sandbox.
I remember something like that.
Which is why we wrote this to do, because it was going to be hard to remember to fix. But I also think at this point we should just rotate over to you, because this is just
Sure.
my poor laptop's not gonna. Next, I'll let my computer keep chugging along, but I think we're gonna be more efficient, and I've probably gone over the 7 minutes anyways.
So I will do a cargo test.
Alrighty, and that should fail.
Ah, the notification. Test notifies.
Oh yeah, I remember. It's because we're trying
Okay.
to seed or initialize a Postgres database, and those binaries are not in our path.
Which binaries? In
initdb
initdb?
is the first one, but I'm pretty sure even PSQL is not in the path.
Let's first drand reload.
Sure.
Make sure we're not. Okay. Initdb. We have that. PSQL something. We should have our utilities though, right? Like util. We have these two.
Indeed, we do.
Why do we think we are? Why do we expect to have so the inputs from? We don't have inputs from here. It's we had inputs from. So NCI is kind of supposed to provide us with those for free. What has initdb? Some
The
package.
Postgres package provides well, probably more than two binaries, but the two that we're using are initdb and PSQL. Or maybe PSQL is the client. I don't know what the server command is.
What has the Postgres the both the fetcher. So if we look at NCI, this doesn't have Postgres in it. Fetcher and API both should have Postgres.
And just as a check input, it's not a runtime dependency, just a check dependency.
And why is it just a check?
Because in
Of course,
prod,
because it's just a service, right?
yeah,
It's a service.
it's just for running our tests. We need to spin up a Postgres server.
An API
But prod,
default.
It just expects a Postgres server to be running at some place where you've configured it to look.
Excuse me while I do something here. Your config make verification. Huh.
I guess you could go even further if you wanted.
CI creates your API.
How much is too much? Pro Tracker. That should be our next project.
What did I do?
Ours is an amateur tracker.
All right. This is better now. Okay.
So yeah, I'm not necessarily sold with the way we did this. Like, I think that my attitude as a person with a moderate amount of Nix experience now is putting things in the path is generally like a workaround for software that doesn't give you a way to compile it with an absolute path. But we own this thing. So like, I would be interested in looking at, can we rework it so that it actually gets compiled with an absolute path to the commands it wants to run?
This is the what command is that?
The initdb and the
you think this cargo test it's from a test, right?
We wrote that helper, that context, that DB context thing. So somewhere there is a Rust file we wrote that has the string initdb in it.
Why do you think it's initdb though? This is the single test that fails.
Yeah, but it's using the database context. Line 17.
Don't most tests use the database context? Like you're making an assumption here that it is
All right.
initdb.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was initdb, but you're right. I don't know why the other tests would be passing.
Right. What's special about this test is actually that it's about notification. See, this is the only test that fails.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm totally bogus here. But I am now confused.
Which
how
line?
How are we in database context?
Lib db context source lib db context source lib 73.
Yeah. So what I'm now confused about, the command there is initdb, right? I mean that's just the variable name, but the
unwrap
the actual
fails.
command.
Unwrap is at 52, column 52, 53. Yeah. So that's this unwrap panics.
So what I'm confused about now is I hear you that all the other tests are passing. Wait, no, the other tests aren't passing. Look at the output there. Doesn't that say 0 passed and 1 failed? All right. Start 7. Hey, and I got to that one error about the apostrophe. Cargo test. Yeah. Okay. So I disagree with you. You said all the other tests are passing, but that's not happening. The other tests aren't even running. And I don't know why that is. That's a cargo question I don't know the answer to.
Maybe something panicked outside of a test. There is no outside of a test. Is there like a keep going flag?
Run all tests
fast.
regardless of failure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. I hate how we get so much green about a complete lack of anything going on. It's like, I think literally every single test is failing, yet my screen is mostly green.
I agree, but no H word in this show, please.
I am sorry. It is quirky. Yeah, anyways, all our tests are failing, and I maintain that it's because we're trying to invoke the initdb command, and it's not in our path. There's no way this could work as currently architected.
But I still don't. Do you understand why this particular test is failing?
Well, no, it's not why this test in particular is failing. They're all failing.
They're all failing?
Right? I mean, this is the thing I just said I H'd.
Sorry. Three targets failed.
This one has 3 failures.
3 failures.
5 failures.
5. Okay.
1 failure.
Okay.
The summary here is not.
Yeah.
This leaves a bit to be desired. Like,
okay.
It would ideally say there were 100 tests. I ran 90 of them.
Okay.
80 of them passed.
So we don't really need initdb in the shell because during development, we never run it.
Yeah.
We need it for the tests. So I think I totally agree. Let's let's get back to main and remove it from the shell. I mean, I'm not sure that we can remove it from the shell. In main, we're using this.
We can rework main so that it
it's
gets
not.
compiled in, which is what we need.
Yes, but we won't be able to test it. As long as we're in the shell, we like testing it would mean removing initdb from the. Maybe we could mutate path temporarily in a
Sure.
running shell, removing that initdb or Postgres bin, and then seeing whether it still works. Still cargo test.
Yeah. Or the easiest way to test it might be to just rebase this mob branch on top of it and see if the test pass.
I want to test changes before they go into main.
Well, we're gonna know we're not breaking anything. So, anyways, I don't see for sure. I'm also happy to just do it in this branch if you want, like whatever you want to do.
In main, please.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, check
I stopped
out
playing
cache.
that.
Oh, I watched the trailer.
The
It
trailer's
was fun.
cool, right? Do you like it, right?
That was definitely a satisfying, like, oh, it's just gonna keep on going, isn't it? They had some fun music.
Right. It's a
I didn't know
combination
like
of
what the
music.
game was about, so I was a little like confused at times. I was like, what is going on? And I guess that wasn't the point of the trailer. It was just to be like a vibe.
It's an FPS RPG that has crafting and has it's MMO as well, which is cool. Except for that, one cannot avoid. One can try, but eventually, playing it long enough, one cannot avoid battles with other players because one will eventually meet a rival player of the rival faction and then get shot in the head with an M70 again and again while they're trying to retrieve their lost loot.
Yeah. What's that called? Griefing? Is that the term?
Well, you get experience, so there's actual
For dying?
motivation to do that.
Wait,
Grief. Oh, sorry, no. Griefing. Griefing is like losing without honor.
I thought griefing was.
Toxic behavior.
I thought this would be like if somebody could kill you over and over again while you're spawning. That's like
Oh, I
not
didn't
fun
even
for
know that.
them and not fun for you. Or the only fun they're getting is knowing that it's pissing you off.
Okay, that's maybe the case, but not the only. They do get experience.
I see. So there's kind of something in it for them.
Yes,
But then
and
there's just there's no it's like the game's arguably unbalanced or something. It's like the rich get richer and the poor eventually quit playing or something.
possibly, but I'm sure there's some skill involved. I mean, there's a certain amount of skill and also a certain amount of just trying hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that trying hard that it's like it's a mismatch because I don't want to like if I want. It's basically I wish it wasn't a competitive game. I just want a
Yeah.
nice first person shooter RPG. I like that concept, and I think that game is pretty good. It's pretty good,
Maybe there's
but
could
I
be
don't
different
want.
servers that are meant for a more laid back experience or something.
Has been suggested. Has been suggested,
Mm-hmm.
but there's
I
only
created a
so much it
branch.
can spread. Okay.
It's called remove Postgres from path.
full switch remove start. I'm going to confirm in the shell that we don't explicitly have Postgres here, and it's from inputs from, and also
we
we're going to
might be
remove
able to
inputs
get rid of
from,
that line.
but that's
Or is that
where
how
our
we're getting
entire
like
tool chain will.
cargo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
We can't get rid of that.
Right. So
But I think this actually, if we do what I'm suggesting, I think Postgres will disappear from our path. Because right now it's a native check input. It's not going to be a native check input when we're done.
But it will be another input.
Yeah, it depends on how I don't quite have the whole thing in my head yet. Like we're going to set an environment variable, I guess, that cargo is going to read at build time. Is that how we're going to do this?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is definitely only for those tests, right? This is in DB context, source lib. This is the file. And here somewhere there's like a command, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. This is just expecting them on path.
Yep. So let's change that to like some build time get environment variable thingy.
I suppose that's the only alternative.
Yeah.
So this is env bang initdb
Path.
I kind of want to say exe.
Or we could just do like the PSQL bin directory. Or does that feel too nixy to you?
Bin, what does that mean?
Like we could, we know that on Nix and I guess in other OSs, the initdb command and the Postgres command, one line down.
Yeah, they both
those are
live
both
in
going
the
to be in the
bin
same
of...
folder.
Mm-hmm.
So I was suggesting maybe we have an.
But that means we
envar.
set path, right? You suggest we leave this.
No, I mean do string concatenation here, where we have an environment variable that's the folder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's whatever. Don't mind. What would you like?
It's kind of nice because it's just one environment variable rather than two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So something like const.
Be like the psql bin-dir or something.
pSQL bin path, which is a... Sorry, what am I doing?
Env
env.
You did that because consts can't be inferred. Is that what that's about?
I don't know why the const and statics must be provided a type. I don't know why that is.
Got it.
Or that's other. It's another way of saying can't be inferred, I suppose.
Right.
PSQL. Maybe we should use the same.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. And here we do something like concat PSQL completion. Come on. Path. And that.
Cool.
That's not. Let's see what's going on here. Well, one is that it's not defined. But another thing is redundant. constants by default have a static lifetime. Okay, that's consider removing. That's fine. Okay, what is this now? Expected a literal. Only literals can be passed through concat.
This doesn't have to be a compile time concat, I guess.
Yep.
Although, seems like a bummer that we can't make it a compile
It's funny
time.
because this is a literal. Like if we just take this and put this here.
Oh, if we inline it, that would work?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
So we could. We don't need a constant, right? Like we could do this.
Got it. Okay. Huh.
Post res. Is that what it was?
I don't remember.
Yep.
Yes, Postgres. Okay. I said PSQL earlier. I was wrong. PSQL is the client.
Do you want us to change this to post?
Oh no, sorry. When I said, I was saying there are multiple binaries provided by the Nix package, and these two, initdb and Postgres, and then I'm pretty sure a third one might be the PSQL, which is the command line client.
But I think it should be Postgres.
Yeah, that sounds good too.
Postgres
QL.
Let's.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Love it. Starts. Okay. This should fail to compile. All right, and I'm going to ignore that, and I'm just going to go cargo build fetcher. Wow, Nix build, sorry. Getting the streams crossed. And this will fail, right? Because it's going to run the compile time tests, and those can't possibly work at this point. Like, it won't even compile, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I wonder if the way we make it compile is going to naturally make it show up in our dev shell or not.
It will be very similar to what we're doing now. Instead of native check inputs, it'll be an environment variable here. It'll be under env.
Well, we didn't put this one under env.
Oh, okay. Then we can just keep.
Yeah. Okay. So this is PostgreSQL.
But you know this is wrong. Sorry. Hold on. That's not. How do we make sure that it doesn't? What? So this becomes a. That it doesn't become part of the closure. I don't think it will become part of the closure. I think it becomes part of the build closure, but not the runtime closure.
Yeah, because the magic of Nix should be that, and I mean, you said this maybe isn't what Nix actually does, but like, the final artifact should not include a reference to this thing. And so it shouldn't be included in the closure. But we should check, because that'll be
we can check.
A very interesting learning opportunity. Bin path equals, and then this is like, I don't know, built-in to string of post.
There's the utility for this.
Okay.
Lib
to get the like appropriate output or something.
Yeah, lib. There's get.exe. There's get bin.
Cool. Nice. Okay. And I guess we're arguably
Copy paste to the.
Yep. I just would have liked to see it fail first. Oh well. API. Boom. And that's gone. And where are we getting lib from? What did you
just delete? The native check.
The native check inputs. Yeah.
This means conflicts in the rebase.
PostgreSQL bin path is not showing up anywhere else in this repo. Why is that? Did I get this environment variable name wrong?
Why would it show up anywhere else?
Because we wrote code postgres. Why was that not showing up? Post?
Oh, I wrote. Do you have the commit
Yeah,
for me?
I do. I mean, it's right here.
Right. It's missing a G. Mine.
PostgreSQL. Okay. PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL. There we go. All right. That's better. All right. And now it complained that it couldn't find it at compile time. Wonderful. So we'll do that there. We'll do it during reload just to see what happens here.
Maybe I am a PostgreSQL.
Oh, I don't get the joke.
An L that is beyond rescuing.
Or it's an L that's already been rescued.
Well, it wouldn't be an L.
Okay. Post. Right, that doesn't look like it's echo post. Yeah. So that's not magically including it, unfortunately. Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
So it's not ending up in our dev shell, which we need to fix. But I was thinking we could get things building first. So that's
But
why I
it's not
closed that.
supposed to be in our dev shell. That was the goal, that it's not in our dev shell.
I
Wait,
meant this environment variable. I was
this
hoping to
environment
have.
variable, yes. It does need to be in the
Yeah.
dev shell.
But I want to focus on the Nix sandbox first, if that's all right. And so I just want to get this thing building. So we made a little progress. The environment variable is clearly present. But maybe the bin path includes slash. Does it not include slash bin? Is that possibly the issue?
Maybe it does not include a slash. Just a slash.
Ah, good question. Nix REPL, Nix packages. Let's find out. lib.getBin legacy packages.x86 Linux post. Okay, my computer is now thinking. PostgreSQL. Okay. Well, I guess that gets stringified just by virtue of it.
What? Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Hold on. No, that's not. So the get bin is not what I think it is. It shouldn't be a derivation. It should just be. It should just be a string. I mean, try get.exe. That's a string.
Yes, get.exe is a string. I think getBin is just give me the output that is a bin.
What's the? Oh, it doesn't
So it's
have
still an
meta main
output.
program.
Sure. But that's a different problem, right?
I don't know if it's a different.
I mean, I think all getBin does is it just like takes Nix packages. Like I think yeah, it's just literally give me the output named bin. That's it. So it's still a derivation.
So it's not ending up with a path.
Well, but for us, it's turning into a path because that's like, I mean, it might be better to be explicit about the conversion, but you know, all of this stuff turns into environment variables for the builder.
Can we see how? Okay, rotate.
Yes.
I want to see how get bin path or make bin path works. What it calls.
Okay.
Make search stack output bin. Output
Get
sub
output.
here.
So it does do get output bin.
Get output bin. So you think get bin is simply get output bin, or that's what we saw, right?
I know it is because we
You
just
just
looked
saw
at it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's missing in our case?
We need
So
to do
why
the
is
subdir thing.
libgetExe different? Why does it return a path? Because you cannot return a derivation. So because I never. What does it mean when you do this next level? What does it mean that when you do? Because if I do just PostgreSQL,
Mhm.
I get one derivation. If I do libget bin PostgreSQL,
Yeah, you're gonna get the same
the
derivation
same derivation. Because
because
bin
that's
is
the
the
default
default
output.
output.
Yeah. So I guess
How
the
can I
reason
see
get bin
the outputs?
exists, you do dot outputs.
I thought out is the default,
That's fair.
but
Yeah, there
I
isn't even
think
a bin here.
maybe there is no bin, so maybe out is bin. How do I get into? So here's out, right? So out is bin.
But I mean, we looked at the code and it was, yeah, I don't understand because we looked at what get bin does, and get bin calls get output with the 3-character string bin. And then can you type some gobbledygook there? Just like type Jeremy or something. Okay. So, but if you do lib, you get something different. No, I don't understand this.
Because there isn't really a lib.
Like they're all the same. Debug? That one feels like it should be different, right? What the heck? I don't know if this is telling it. Are we just learning something weird about the Postgres derivation? We're also learning something weird about. I would have expected to get an error if we used a non-existent
I heard
output.
that Haskell packages typically have multiple outputs.
Mhm.
I suspect that the Postgres simply does not have multiple outputs.
Got it.
Haskell packages Zool.
That's a great name for a package.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's not a great name for a package. I have no idea what it means. But Zool, that's probably a reference to Ghostbusters. And I love Ghostbusters. That's all I'm trying to say.
It
That was me just
isn't.
trying to say I like Ghostbusters.
I like Ghost. Isn't Zool in Ghostbusters also a reference to some ancient
Yeah, it's
mythology or
the
something?
gate master or the key master or something. So there, if it's something about cryptography,
Oh, look at
maybe
this.
that's the clever thing.
Zool has out and dog.
There is no Dana, only Zool. So I think she's the gate master.
Lib get output out. What the heck?
Marked as broken.
Oh, come on.
Pick a different Haskell package, I guess. Xmonad. I use Xmonad.
Okay. There's out and okay, out and doc. So here's out and here is doc. Oh, it's the same.
Mhm.
Why is it the same?
And if you just do Haskell packages.xmonad.out, that gives you, that's another way to get your hands on it, right?
And this is the same. This could be for like backwards compatibility. But I'm done with this. Are you done with this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with just stringifying the thing ourselves. We don't know the scenarios in which it matters. I have been super loosey-goosey about this stuff with all my mixing up till now. I just like stringify derivations all the time because I didn't know about getting exe for the longest time. And it's never caused me any issues. So how do we want to actually fix the issue? That's
We need to obtain the actual bin path of this.
So I would say we could do a string
Why
interpolation.
doesn't this work though? If this is literally the way that make bin path works,
Well, but
how does
make
this
bin
not
path
work?
calls subdir on this thing.
It does? What did I miss? Hold on, what?
It maps an invocation of subdir. So if we call subdir bin on this thing, we'll be in business.
Files. Make bin subdir. Oh, what's subdir? Subdir. Just subdir? What subdir? Which subdir?
Subdir is an argument. I guess it's not a function, sorry. So that is a string of 3 characters, bin.
So it's both output and subdir? Why?
Well,
we don't know, huh?
We haven't learned about the various packages that actually have different outputs, so I think it's hard to answer that part.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense to me that there's a difference between the derivation, which produces a store path, and then the folder in the store path where the actual binaries that should go in the path are.
Look, it just does this.
Yep. I'm not surprised. So I would say we should just do string interpolation. I don't care about the get output thing. We can do it if you want.
There is no utility for that.
There's no
purpose, there's no utility for there's no alternative to string interpolation. The only alternative, because this is what lib shows us, what lib does.
Yep.
But there is make bin path itself. The make bin path takes a list.
We pass it a single argument and we get back what we want. We could do that.
Could do that. I'm not saying it's not silly. I'm just asserting our options.
Yep. Okay. So here's what I would have done. Tell me how you feel about this.
Yeah,
I would have done this. But I'm happy to do other things.
Let's try. Let's see what lib make bin path looks like.
Make bin.
Yeah. MK.
It's just not
bin path
like that
with the list.
Right.
Instead.
Legacy. That'll fail.
So that it takes a list. Yeah.
Yep, that does what we want. Do you prefer that?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. It's like this is the right tool to use, except that it takes a list because frequently you wanna multiple things.
Yep. Okay, there we go. Next build. Love it. And now we haven't hard-coded any strings, so that feels great. Let's see if this builds. And I'll open a new shell.
This is the 33rd episode of the show.
All right.
Can you believe that?
No.
The blink of an eye.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. And I think I'm not saying it's the best investment of one's time, but I think if one has that this time, it's I mean, we've learned a lot, and we
Yeah,
already
I'm
know a bunch of nicks.
super leveling up Nick's knowledge, and the next Rust project I do, I hadn't heard of NCI, so this seems great. All right, so and getting comfortable with flake parts, that was like a whole thing that I had heard of and didn't really understand what it was about until we started messing with it.
Mm.
All right, so our string concatenation is still not working. Come on. Oh, because I added the bin here. Sorry.
Oops. But it does need a slash.
We're not doing path concatenation, right? Okay. Is there a Rust utility for joining paths
Oh,
that we
well,
should use?
we're doing something problematic because we're using a utility that is generating a path variable, but we end up using it for a single.
Yeah.
Now
So like
that
if we happened
is
to pass
problematic.
multiple things to it.
Yeah, exactly. Then it would have failed. I think we shouldn't be using it. It's misleading.
Yeah. So
Should be
then
explicit about
you okay
the.
with me doing
So
what I had before?
why are we not using getExe instead?
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe that's the cleanest thing. Is we can do 2 environment variables.
Yeah, except that it doesn't have a main program. We have to use not getExe but getExe prime,
Which takes
which takes the
something
first
like that.
argument. I believe is the.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure.
How would anyone know? There's nothing about this name.
Noogle.
Function argument. Function argument. Thanks, guys. Okay, derivation string. So it's the second argument. Which is what
It
we
actually
have.
makes more sense that it's the second argument if you want to compose this.
Yeah. Okay, so this is init db path and Postgres. Whoops. Path. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we'll have those 2 environment variables. I'll replicate this over into API. Okay. And then copy that and go over, or I can do better than that. There we go. Create locally? No. Context. Where is the DB context? There it is. Okay. And then we've got this thing, which is going to go here. And then this thing. And then there's no concat. And boom. All right. And now if people happened to have these things in 2 different folders, they're not going to have to ask us for support for that or something. Or if these things got split into separate derivations in Nix in the future, we would be prepared for that.
I'm quite happy about NCI allowing us to use the module system,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not happy about Crane doing all depths in one derivation. And I saw a different project. I think it was something like crate to Nix or cargo to Nix. Cargo to Nix. And it had the arguably more optimized approach. Each dependency in the entire tree ends
Wow.
up as a derivation. And I tried it on some project, and it worked, but it has a couple of downsides. One
Sorry, I'll
is
be right back.
all right.
Sorry. It worked, but
It has a couple of downsides. One of which is it does not parse. It does not use Nix to parse the cargo tomls.
oh, so it's a separate command you have to run
Exactly.
impurely to generate next code, and yeah, no fun.
And which can be solved because we see that Dream to Nix does parse the
Crane
toml.
does the parsing, or oh, maybe it's stream to next. I guess I
I
don't know
think it's
where.
Dream to Nix. Yeah, I think that's the
But we
value.
use Crane directly. Does Crane depend on Dream to next, and Dream to next depends on
Maybe
Crane?
look. Yeah, I think just there's duplication there.
Oh,
Crane, I
okay.
think Crane has an implementation of that to some
I see.
degree, and there are different implementations, I suppose.
All right. Well, the
And
ecosystem
the other
is in
part
flux.
is that it is coupled with the call package pattern.
What is coupled?
Cargo to Nix.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that. I think it's trying to do a little bit too much. That
I,
part of it is like I think it's extraneous. It's as if it's been written for Nix packages,
mhm.
which would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
It would be difficult to integrate in flake parts, right? Because so,
Yeah.
but
I
I
mean,
hope someone does something that has the best of all worlds. Like
well, is there something about Crane that makes it incompatible with smaller derivations? Like, is that just a Crane change that someone could make someday?
uh, maybe. I hope so. I don't know why it was decided in Crane to. There's a whole discussion about. There's a whole thread about this
Oh, okay. So,
in Crane.
and what's the general tone there? It's like this is a
I
decision we
don't
made and we're happy with it, or
I don't remember.
okay.
I bet it's just someone needs to do the work. That's all.
Oh, well then that's great. We can do the work.
Oh, yeah. There's so many things that we could do. That could be a whole episode after we decide that this project is can be put aside for a while. We can have a whole episode of what to do. What should we do next?
We should keep a list. Um, we because this stuff comes up all the time where it's like, oh, there's something in the ecosystems we swim in that's like, ah, not quite where we want it to be. We could make it suck less. All right, so build a fetcher and API. both worked, which feels great. However, our shell no longer includes a initdb. So we've reproduced the issue, I guess, which is kind of nice. So like, if I don't have an initdb, and if I do a cargo test, yeah, can't compile. This is kind of nice. We're not gonna have to do any weird hacks to reproduce the issue. We can just fix this problem on my screen.
Correct.
So there's this stuff right here. We somehow need that to end up in our dev shell, and I guess inputs from doesn't do. Oh, and there we are inheriting that environment variable. So I guess analogously, we would just do the same darn thing, right?
Yes.
Do we actually want to thread this thing around? Are you okay
Yeah.
just duplicating? Or do we want to extract this and put it in the same place that this thing lives?
The latter.
Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo, boop-a-doop-a-doo. Where's the source of truth for this thing? There it is. Fetch your default module args.
This
That's a
this
weird
is
place.
what it is. It's the fetcher that needs the
Yeah.
GraphQL schema because it fetches from GitHub using GraphQL.
Okay.
But these two, both crates need them, so they can be in somewhere else.
This is gonna be conflicty, isn't it? Modules. Crate utils? That sounds reasonable, right?
Crate utils is like,
Yeah, this is stuff shared between all the crates, right?
it is shared, but because it has to do with the fact that they're crates. So this is like crane related things, and apparently also pre-funked.
Tree funked.
But
I don't know. This
it's
feels like a reasonable dumping ground. Do you have a different place?
say, is it not the store that actually, because we have a store.mix, this everything, is it not the store that actually accesses the database?
Store.
The two crates, fetcher and API, they use the
That's fair.
store, right?
That's fair. Yeah, so we could put it here. Go away.
Yeah.
We're gonna take these. It'll be like module.args. I don't know, something like that. I'm gonna have like a. Oh, this is.
It's a persistent modular.
Great. All right. Lib packages. Dot dot dot. Go. Okay, that's not changing. This is becoming inherit. And those come from. Oops. Sorry. Silly things. All right, there we go. And then same thing here. We want post grass
Not
post
from there, from persistent.
queue. Then okay. Do we like that all on one line?
We don't get a say in that.
We don't? Really? I think we do.
Formatter.
Yeah, the
It keeps,
formatter
preserves.
obeys things like that.
Mm.
Like here
Answer is I
it's
don't.
I'm
I don't mind. Don't waste brain cycles on this.
okay, we're not talking about it. Alright, I think that might be next build fetcher. And then let me do the dev shell. And we're gonna inherit. Okay. Then those come from per system post yes post. Okay. Next build API still works. That's good stuff. Fetcher.
What's in your background there?
It's a video game I quite
Oh,
enjoyed. Which I'm blanking on the name of. What was that game? Contact? Contact? Is it called Contact?
no.
Do you know? No. Control. Control. Have you heard of it or played it?
I tried playing it.
Did not enjoy it? Or just
I
did not
lost
get into
interest
it?
because I got into like an very early fight,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't understand like how to win this fight. Why am I being hit? I thought I was in cover. Something didn't click for me. I was not good at it. I didn't get it. Am I supposed to not cover? Am I supposed to like do some skill to divert bullets or something? I don't understand.
I grew up playing PC games, and I started playing this game on the couch with a controller, with a computer connected to the couch, so that Rachel could watch while I was playing. And I did not get into it. I was just like, I was getting killed left and right. I was like, not enjoying the game. And then I stopped playing, and then I was like, randomly started playing it on my computer many months later, and then I got
Mm-hmm.
super into it because I was like, oh, okay, I'm not good in any objective sense of the word, but I'm much better with a mouse and keyboard at like shooters than I am with a controller. So, anyways, that was my experience with the game. I was no good at it. I also might have been. Don't you play video games on like hard mode or something?
I do.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. I don't play on hard mode. I think I generally go for whatever the one step above easy is.
But it varies so greatly that some games I put it on. Oh, you better not even try this mode, and it's easy. And some games are actually hard.
And then you stop playing them? Like, is that what happened with Control?
That's pretty much what happened with Control.
That seems like an unfortunate result because, at least in my opinion, Control was a
Mm-hmm.
very fun game. Like, aesthetically,
Mm-hmm.
an immersive, like, sort of experience that like, there's like one scene in particular for me that was just like, oh wow, this is like just kind of the most like Hollywood-esque moment I've ever felt while playing a video game. Like where I was like, they orchestrated this, like they directed this scene, and I felt like I was like in the moment in a way that I was like, I'm not gonna stop and save. I'm just gonna like experience this because I'm like feeling it right now. And it was a really great like 3 a.m. I've been playing for 8 hours or something, and I just yeah. So that moment alone was worth the gameplay for me. But anyways, I mean, there's lots of good ways to spend your time, so I'm not going to try to convince you to play Control.
Well, you might have.
I mean, I don't even know if you know anything about my taste in video games. I don't think we've talked about any video games that we have both played and enjoyed yet. I think I've mostly heard about games you've played that I haven't heard of, and then games I've played that you've, I guess, maybe have tried but didn't get into. Anyways, I won't be offended if you don't like my taste in video games, Shahar. I still like coding with you. I'm inclined to do a mob done. Next flight check is checking along here, and I feel optimistic. Here's a diff T. You want to see that? Pretty simple. This is the exciting change. And then this is also exciting because that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Threading, prop drilling, prop drilling, prop drilling, prop drilling. And there's the start of the prop drilling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You okay with a mob done?
We have another native check input, which is git.
Yeah. So we could go further with this. Get rid of git as well. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, there's git. So we'll get rid of that, which will cause build of API. No, build a fetcher. Whoops. API doesn't do anything with git. Here you go, Nix. You understand what I did and what I didn't do. Oh, that's interesting. So we had it as a native check input here. I guess a consequence of this is we can also get rid of this, can't we? The thing we're about to do.
What is that? Post install wrap program. Uh-huh.
So that's kind of satisfying, right? Git path equals, I'm going to do git path equals, what was the thing we used? Git exe, lib.git exe, git packages.git. That's our environment variable.
We used getExe prime for Postgres because it doesn't have a meta main program, but Git does.
This will probably work. Fetcher, cert, test, git. Nope, 132. Isolated git. GD, come on. Index, buddy. Can't wait for this. I don't have time for this. Isolated git. Here we go. All right. This is going to be an env bang of git. Really? Path? What I thought I called it, but it's not showing up in my.
But why? Yeah, but why would it be in the environment of your editor?
Oh, no. Sorry, I was trying to do auto completion here, and I would have expected it to show up there.
Because of like
it's not
arbitrary words completion?
Yeah, like keywords in all my buffers. I thought maybe I used to have that, or now I don't because I've changed a lot of stuff about my Nix configuration. My NeoVim configuration, sorry. And if that works, dev shell can do a similar thing here, where we'll say get path equals lib.get.exe, get get path. Okay, fetcher builds now, so that's good stuff. And then here we have a get path variable, so we can do a cargo test. And then my question to you, Shahar, is how do you feel about the repetition of lib.get.exe packages.get? I don't think it
What
bothers me.
repetition?
Well, we've got, oh, here's another one. See how I'm in a random tempter there?
Mm-hmm.
Right there and right there. One for the fetcher, one for the dev shell.
That's fine.
Great. Mob next. Get, and then I'll rotate over to you. I'm sure I've had the rotation for too long at this point.
Git if move. Let's do an inspect check. Git if this should mean that we don't have any more. Go to the dev shell. We don't have any more such things, such cases. Inputs from still brings in the, well, yeah, it still brings in the toolchain, but the toolchain is the toolchain. If we go to fetcher default, and we go to API default, this is a native build input. Oh, we don't need that either.
Oh yeah, good point. Goodbye. Good catch. Looks good to me.
But this failed though. Failed for some clipping. You there, Jeremy?
Hello. Yes, I am here. One more.
PostgreSQL init db path not defined in compile time for something.
There's some Clippy derivation.
This could not compile db content.
I mean, makes sense that Clippy would be trying to check that thing and therefore
But why did I
compile it.
say Clippy? Where's Clippy now? This,
You can see it in the full for log. Yeah.
and also if we go up here, no, but yeah, here. That kind of sucks. There's Clippy.
Does this get better for us in the NCI universe?
A good question. I think
Like,
it can.
are we defining Clippy explicitly in there, or is it deduced?
I think we in the. I think I'm not sure what you have to do to get Clippy. Maybe we get it by default.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there would be a like a place for an entire project to add environment variables. Not sure that's
Yeah.
exactly what we want to do, but cross that
Yeah, it's
bridge
kind of like
when we.
arguably a little unnecessary. For instance, like we don't need to rebuild the API when some of these environment variables change. But I'm also okay with, if that was the simplest thing to do, I'd say let's just do that.
Well, for now, we need
Should we
to.
call it?
We already have this problem here, right?
How are you doing
See
on
this?
time?
I think we can finish this.
Okay, let's get this branch done.
So, inherit all of them. This.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not complaining about the Git. Maybe we'll get to that next.
And then we need the git as well, right? Git path. Check. Git path is missing. Git path is git path. Why is that?
We haven't defined it as a module arg.
We have it. We haven't. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Start 7. Then I think this Git path, we'll define that in fetcher in the fetcher module.
Sorry, I think I do need to finish.
Okay. Let's call it.
Good
All right.
work, Jeremy.
You too, Shar.
Looking forward to next week.
Yes. And I'm hopefully my
Should I-
calendar's accurate.
I'll stop the episode.
Yes,
I'll
we can
finish the
end the
episode.
session.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be well.
Bye.